What's up YouTube? It's Richard, founder of Short-Term Rental University and Airbnb Superhost. Today's video is a question we hear all the time. Is it a good time to be an Airbnb host, or is there too much competition? Well, here's one guy's take. So yeah, of course there's more competition. It's natural, it's healthy, it's what happens as markets mature. This is a very rich opportunity, and a lot of people are finding out that it's a great part-time gig, full-time gig, investment opportunity, co-hosting opportunity. There's a lot of demand. A lot of people are staying in Airbnbs. People really enjoy it. So therefore, there's a lot of hosts gravitating towards the opportunity, and this channel is actually helping a lot of people do it also. So yes, there's more competition, but that's not a bad thing. So by way of background, this is a natural evolutionary process in every market known to man. There's always sort of the early people that get there, and then there's the influencers, and then there's the early adopters, and then it becomes mainstream, and then it peaks, and then it goes down. The bigger point is, what we're seeing on Airbnb, we see in every single market, in every single new idea, it goes through a very similar phase. And so this is totally natural and to be expected. The question, I think, is, how do you take advantage of it? So in my opinion, generally speaking, the people that do best in all market conditions are either the very low price people or the very high price people. So you've got people that are wildly successful like IKEA. They're the cheapest in the business, and they continue to be the cheapest, or Amazon, and they thrive. They're at the very low end of the price spectrum, and so they drive the price competition downward, but they succeed in it. They are able to run so efficiently and effectively that they can work on very low margins. Most people can't. Most people don't run such a tight ship, and therefore they lose money. So they can't compete with that. And then at the very high end of the spectrum, you have hotels like the Four Seasons or Tiffany's for jewelry, and they tend to do well almost irrespective of the market condition. They may do better in a boom market and do worse in a recession, but they continue to do well. They don't drop the price of the diamond from $100,000 to $50,000 to clear it. They have a brand and a reputation to protect, and there's still people with money that want to spend it. Where the biggest competition gets hurt is when you're in the middle of the pack. You never want to be in the middle of the pack, in my opinion. You want to differentiate yourself as much as possible so that you either price higher, or you want to have such a clean operation that you can price lower and make money. But if you're in that middle of the pack, which most people are, that's why it's the middle of the pack, that's where you have the biggest price competition. And it has to be apples to apples. So you have to take a look at what a one bedroom in your community goes for, or a two bedroom, whatever applies to you. And let's just pick an easy number, $100. As more competition comes in, somebody will be listing new, they'll give that 20% off that Airbnb recommends, or they'll price low, which is a strategy that I recommend, and they'll drop the price to $99. And somebody else will come in at $98, $97. Now, if you're still at $100 and you're not offering anything spectacular, you may have fewer bookings initially. Remember that this is a two-way street, supply and demand. The one thing we're talking about is supply of inventory on Airbnb. There's more supply of inventory coming on Airbnb, that's driving pricing pressure down. But don't forget, we talked about market cycles, ups and downs, peaks and troughs. So there may be more supply coming on the market now, but that's being met with more demand. More people are enjoying the Airbnb stay and the lifestyle and the ability to travel with family and have two bedrooms connected or a kitchen or whatever. So while there might be more supply today, that's likely to get absorbed by more demand, especially as the lower prices intrigue people to stay in an Airbnb that wouldn't otherwise do it. And then if they get great hosting, which is the purpose of this channel, they're likely to do it again and again and again. And in fact, they may only travel on Airbnb on a go-forward basis. So I just want you to realize that whatever pain or worry or anxiety you're feeling right now is likely going to pass. I'm not saying it's going to get better 100%. I'm saying it's likely to get better. And what I'm urging you to do is to figure out what you can do better so that you don't face that same price resistance and that you can offer more services. So what can you do? First, again, you have to understand who it is that you're trying to attract. And I'm just going to try and give an example that people can apply. Let's say that you're trying to attract golfers. And I don't know a lot about golf. If you read my emails, you know that I'm just starting the game. Charles and I are going to play. I'm excited about that. But let's just say that you're trying to attract golfers and you're not on the fairway. The guy who is on the fairway always gets booked first. He's been lowering his prices a little bit. You're not getting quite as many bookings and you're feeling the pressure to decrease your price. Now, it's really hard to compete with somebody who's on the fairway, but he may not care as much as you. He may not have the right creativity or ideas as you do, and he may not have the same personality. So try and think about things that you can do to encourage golfers in your description and in your photos. You can offer, I don't know, on the Xbox, the golf game. You can have the little putt in a cup like my boss used to have in his office. You can photograph that or say it's available. You can have a scoreboard or PGA Live if there's a television channel that has the golf channel, whatever it is. Just know who you're trying to attract, know why they're coming, and then do everything in your power to make that experience like real and something that they welcome and they want. And they may start to choose you over the fairway. The fairway guy may be managed by a property, get 4-star reviews, and they don't really care, and the cleanliness isn't there, and it's just sort of generic. I know firsthand, when I stay at Airbnbs, I can tell very quickly about a host that really cares versus one that's just, you know, on autopilot and it doesn't really matter to them so much. So be the guy that really cares, because you'll get more bookings and more 5-star reviews and more commentary that people trust about the quality of the experience, and that'll help you increase your prices in the face of more competition. A lot of the things that we're talking about on this channel are really applicable. So make sure your photos are up to date. Make sure that your title and your description, your listing, and use keywords and put yourself in the people's shoes that are visiting you. What can they walk to? What can they do? Who stays with you? Who's it best used by? And then Charles did a video not too long ago that I thought was really helpful. I suggested that he change his photos from a dull gray winter scene to a beautiful summer scene as we went into summer. And he did, and I think that that was really successful. So we have to constantly be looking at our listings, refresh, change, take new angles, take new photos, add new flowers, do whatever it is to get more attention, because the rest of the pack that's in the middle of the pack, they're doing nothing. They're just complaining, they're sitting back, they're saying, oh, this isn't quite as good as it used to be, I don't know why, and they're thinking about quitting. Now, when they quit, that helps the boom and the bust cycle again. Then all of a sudden, there's less supply and the same amount of demand, which drives prices back up. So I want you to persevere. I want you to work on your property and get as much money as you can right now, but recognize that some people will drop out, other people will come in, but it's just a standard boom and bust cycle. So those are my thoughts. Again, it's a point in time. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And for those of you that have faced competition, what have you done? How have you increased your revenue? How have you maintained your revenue? What are your thoughts? What are you seeing? What are you thinking? I really love the comments below because we can all read them and we all benefit as a community. So please go ahead and share with us. I'd also love it and really appreciate a like and a subscribe. Hope you're well. Have a great day. Charles and I have a lot to do, and we're gonna go golfing too.